My name is Olivia Moore. My husband Nolan Schmidt's father, Liam Schmidt, had a sudden heart attack and was rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment. But as a doctor, he let the intern Camila Hayes perform the surgery. Camila stood at the operating table, flustered, unable to even hold the scalpel steadily. She blinked and said coyly, "Mr. Schmidt, I'm a little scared." Nolan dotingly tapped her nose, completely ignoring the steadily declining vitals on the monitor, patiently comforting her for 10 minutes before guiding her step by step on how to perform a thoracotomy. As a result, Camila's hand trembled and accidentally cut the aorta. She suddenly threw herself into Nolan's arms, crying for comfort. Nolan held her tightly, soothing her softly. Meanwhile, Liam missed the best rescue window and died on the spot. When Nolan walked out of the operating room holding the still sobbing Camila, he just shot me a cold glance. He said, "If you want to blame someone, blame your dad's bad luck. Before you leave, write a thank you letter to comfort Camila. Your dad lived to a good age. That's enough. Don't let his death leave Camila with psychological scars." I froze in place. After a moment of shock, I realized he had always thought the one on the operating table was my dad, Wyatt Moore. I let out a sneer. "I'm afraid you'll have to write that thank you letter yourself." Nolan looked impatient. "Olivia, can you stop being so unreasonable? Acting like this will only make people dislike you. Didn't you see how terrified Camila was to perform surgery on your dad?" Camila burrowed into his arms with grievance. "Mr. Schmidt, don't say that. Olivia will get upset if I cause any discord between you two. I'd be heartbroken. It's my fault for not being capable enough to save Olivia's father. She has every right to blame me. Even if she wants to hit or scold me now, I'll accept it." As she spoke, she truly began to choke up. Nolan felt heartbroken and immediately held her tighter, gently comforting. "I'm here. Let's see who dares to touch you. Camila, you're just too kind. It's not your fault her dad unfortunately got sick, so don't blame yourself for this." Then, he turned his head and glared at me fiercely. "Olivia, that's enough. Look at how badly you've bullied her. Take your dad's body away immediately. Stop being an eyesore here. And hurry up and write a thank you letter." Watching their intimate behavior, I just felt disgusted. When Liam was first sent to the hospital, I immediately called Nolan. I heard he canceled several emergency surgeries to come over, and I felt relieved at the time. He is the top surgeon in this hospital, saving countless critically ill patients. I thought he didn't trust others, which is why he was so eager to take charge. But I never expected he would dare to let an inexperienced intern lead the surgery. Now the patient is dead, and the family has to comfort the doctor instead. But after all, Nolan is the one who is actually related to Liam by blood, so I can't say much. I spoke coldly. "I have no problem. Just wondering if you also think this has nothing to do with the doctor and that we should thank the doctor for saving lives despite being scared?" Nolan sneered, his eyes contemptuous. "Olivia, stop with the sarcasm. Do you think I can't understand your words? You're just jealous that Camila can heal and save lives. I'll make myself clear today. You can record it. Even if it were my dad on the operating table, it'd still say the same thing. The patient's death has nothing to do with the doctor. Having a kind doctor like Camila is a blessing for the patients, and as family members, we should be grateful." I just found it funny and quickly recorded it as he requested. Looking at his indifferent attitude, I just felt chilled to the bone. Earlier this year, when I brought my parents for a checkup, I remembered Liam occasionally mentioning his heart felt uncomfortable, thinking about how he usually treats me with care. I went ahead and booked a full checkup for him as well. The results showed that my parents were in good health, but Liam was diagnosed with heart disease. At that time, he looked at me pleadingly, asking me not to tell Nolan, fearing it would upset him and affect his work. So when Nolan anxiously asked who was critically ill, I lied and said it was Wyatt who was sick. After hearing that, he let out a long sigh of relief, and there was even a trace of undisguised glee in his eyes. He even told me to spend more time with my parents since Wyatt is old and heart disease isn't easy to treat. I didn't think much of it at the time, but looking back, he always thought it was Wyatt who was sick. I shook the recorder in my hand, sneering inwardly but putting on a reluctant face. "Since you've said so, I have no objections. After all, he's our dad." Nolan didn't catch the sarcasm in my words and thought I had compromised with him. He smirked slightly and arrogantly ordered, "What are you standing there for? Move aside. Can't you see Camila's pale from exhaustion after saving your dad? Go back and make some nutritious meals for her." After saying that, he wrapped his arm around Camila and brushed past me, striding away. As they passed by me, Camila nestled in Nolan's arms, looking at me with a provocative gaze full of smugness. I couldn't be bothered with those fools. When he finds out the person who died on the operating table was actually his biological father, his reaction should be quite something. By then, I hope he can still say, a patient's death has nothing to do with the doctor. Over the years after marriage, Liam has always treated me well, often secretly supporting us financially. I couldn't bear to see him leave in such humiliation, so I decided to send him off with dignity. I went alone to handle the death procedures. The people at the hospital were all shocked. When Liam was brought in, everyone already knew. Nolan insisted on being the lead surgeon, but no one expected Liam to pass away so quickly. But now, handling the aftermath, he's nowhere to be found. Just as I was about to complete the final procedure, Nolan suddenly barged in with Camila, threw an agreement at me and ordered, "Sign it." I glanced at it and realized it was an organ donation consent form. I stared at Nolan in disbelief, fury surging instantly. "Nolan, you know his obsession. He would never allow you to treat his body like this." Before Nolan could speak, Camila sneered from the side, "Oh please, donating organs is a contribution to medicine. He should feel honored." I shot her a cold glare. "That must be done with respect for the deceased. Got it?" Nolan instantly got angry and yelled at me, "Olivia, don't be ungrateful. He's already dead anyway. His organs can still be of some use to society. Besides, this is also doing good for him. Who knows how much sin he committed in this life? Otherwise, why could others be saved? But he had to die. Maybe this is karma." I was trembling with anger, my fingertips shaking. "Give up on this idea. I will never agree to sign it." Nolan grabbed my hand forcefully, his grip almost crushing my bones. He said, "Olivia, don't be ungrateful. This is my decision, not yours to make." I was furious. My face flushed red, and I shouted at him with teary eyes, "How dare you bully me? My parents won't let you off if they find out." Nolan's gaze turned icy cold as he forcefully shoved me away. I fell hard to the ground, my back aching from the impact. He said coldly, "You're just relying on your family's money. Wake up, your dad's gone, and no one has your back anymore." I endured the sharp pain in my hand, but a chill spread from my chest to my entire body. This is the man I insisted on marrying against my parents' objections back then. He's nothing but a complete scumbag. Tears rolled down my cheeks as I spoke wearily. "No matter what you say, I will never sign." In Liam's hometown, the custom is that the body must remain intact after death to have a next life. I really can't bring myself to do something so heartless. Nolan tried to drag me to sign, but Camila suddenly said, "Mr. Schmidt, you're also a family member, so you have the right to sign. Let's do her a favor." Nolan looked at her dotingly and praised, "You're so smart. Let's just consider this a good deed." Before he finished speaking, he had already swiftly signed his name on the consent form. I looked at him in disappointment. "You will regret this." He gave me a disdainful glance, ready to go with Camila to dissect the body. But a phone call interrupted him. Before leaving, he specifically reminded, "Camila, I need to handle an emergency surgery first. Don't be afraid. Just do your best anyway. It's just a corpse, and there might not be much usable. Letting you practice is her dad's final value." After Nolan left, Camila, as if deliberately provoking me, showed no respect for the donor. Instead, she vented her anger by ruthlessly sawing off Liam's limbs with a bone saw. Then, she pulled out Liam's organs and threw them everywhere. She even pretended to sigh beside me. His organs have all failed. They are completely useless. Donating them is meaningless. Then she took photos from various angles and sent them to Nolan. "Mr. Schmidt, do you think I'm brave?" Nolan replied, "Amazing. Our Camila is the best." I was so disturbed by the scene that I kept gagging. Camila glanced at me and sneered, "You're so useless. Even though your dad's corpse isn't much use, at least it provided some experimental material for the doctors." Looking at her smug expression, I couldn't hold back anymore and sent a message to Nolan. "Nolan, let's get a divorce." Nolan arrived quickly and mocked as soon as he walked in. "Olivia, can't you see the situation by now? Your dad is dead, and you think you're still that high and mighty rich girl? Without me, who do you think would want you?" I looked at him, holding back my disgust. "That's still better than being with scum like you." He seemed to have hit a sore spot, his face twisting instantly. "Aren't you just relying on having a slightly better family background? Ever since school, you've acted all high and mighty. Do you think just because your family paid for a few years of my tuition and gave me some handouts, you have the right to order me around? Let me tell you, Everything I have today is because of myself. It has nothing to do with your family." I let out a cold snort. Over the years, we've given him far more than just financial support. Even his current fame was built with a lot of effort from us. But in the end, we raised an ungrateful monster. I said, "Nolan, if it were really all on your own, you probably wouldn't have even graduated from college. Look at your self-deceiving face right now. It's truly disgusting. Two choices: divorce or see you in court." He stared at me fiercely, his eyes venomous as if he wanted to tear me apart. He said, "You think I don't dare to divorce? I'd like to see how miserable you'll become without me." After saying that, he took Camila's hand and walked away suddenly. As if remembering something, he turned around and glanced at the shattered, chaotic room. He said, "Hurry up and take your dad's filthy stuff away. Don't taint such a sacred place as the hospital." I originally wanted to let him say a final goodbye to Liam, but now it seems completely unnecessary. Within half a day, I arranged the crematorium, set up the mourning hall, and informed friends, family, and Nolan. I've done everything I could for Liam. I just stepped outside to catch my breath, and when I came back, the sight before me made my scalp tingle. Liam's funeral portrait was vandalized with red paint, disfigured beyond recognition. The pastor originally invited to pray was rudely sent away, replaced by a noisy band. The most infuriating thing is that Liam's urn was taken, and a few people nearby seemed to be making something like fireworks. Almost finished, I rushed in and shouted angrily, "What are you doing?" Camila chuckled softly. "Why are you making such a fuss? We're having a joyful funeral. It's all the rage now, Mr. Schmidt even praised me for being creative." Nolan nodded with satisfaction, looked at the ruined portrait, and said coldly, "Camila meant well, lively and cheerful, isn't it nice? Your dad's ashes have been made into fireworks soon. Well, send them into the sky, consider it sending him to heaven."